Welcome into Arsenal Report, and Jarell Hato rumors are heating up quickly. This would be such a good signing for Arsenal. I know another defender, another left back, is not as exciting as maybe getting in that striker, getting a Rodrigo. But Jarell Hato at 19 years old with already 100 appearances, more than 100 appearances for Ajax, a player who can completely change the way that we play down that left-hand side, an overlapping left back who can invert into midfield if necessary, who can add a different dynamic down that side, who can fill in for Gabriel at left center back, who can almost alternate with Calafiori should the two of them play together, not play together. So many different options to have him in there. And for Arsenal to be front of the queue for this one, for lack of a better term, is just shows a testament to the kind of work that they've been doing and the relationship that they've been building with Ajax over the past couple of years, really trying to get in there, get the opportunity to sign some of their best young talents at a young age, and somebody already with so much experience. Like, we're not getting a raw 19-year-old. We're getting a 19-year-old who's played in the Champions League for multiple seasons, who's captained Ajax at 19 years old. This would be an absolutely massive signing, and to beat our rivals to the signing is even bigger. Chelsea, obviously very interested. Many other clubs around Europe have kept tabs on Jarell Hato. And he's really just the perfect player for us. We so desperately need an overlapping left back. We've had such problems down that left-hand side over the past couple of years. But to get Hato in right now would completely change not only the way Gabriel Martinelli could play, but whoever we bring in down that left-hand side. And it looks like we're going to get it done for around 50 million euros, which is obviously very expensive, but the wages won't be huge. Again, a 19-year-old who's probably on very small wages at Ajax right now, and a player who can have the time to develop and become one of the best defenders in the league for us over the next couple of years. Another player really pushing for a move for us, Victor Gyökeres. I mean, this striker debate obviously has been going on for over a year between Gyökeres and Sesko. It's gotten more narrow and more narrow as the weeks have gone on, and it seems like it'll be between the two of them. But the agent propaganda around Victor Gyökeres right now is insane. Basically, they're saying that he refuses to train for Sporting. He has told Sporting that 60 million is plenty for him. You can't be asking for more. Respect my wishes. I want to leave. Don't keep bargaining and trying to drive up the price. He'll be incredibly angry with the club if he doesn't go to Arsenal specifically. He'll never forgive them, is one of the reports. Some really crazy agent language being thrown out there in the media over the last couple of days, and I don't know that it actually means that Arsenal are any closer to signing Gyökeres than they are Sesko. To me, Sesko is still the top option. He's still the player that Arsenal want, the scouting department want. They're just worried about kind of getting this last 10 million figured out. Seems like Leipzig wants 70. Seems like Arsenal want to pay 60. I think that a lot of the Gyökeres language comes from his agent. I think it comes from Berta saying to Leipzig basically, like, we have another striker, a very talented striker who's begging to come play for us. So if you don't make this deal for us, we have somewhere else to go. And it's also interesting because it almost seems like Sesko would be okay to stay at Leipzig one more year. But the club really need to sell by June 30th for their books because they didn't make any European football this year. So it's a bit of an odd one where it seems like Gyökeres is really pushing hard on the player side on that deal. Leipzig is really pushing hard on the Sesko deal. If those two things could have just crossed over, this deal probably would have been done. But I do expect Arsenal to try and get this done by the end of this week. I would say by Sunday night, we'll have a very clear idea of which player is going to be Arsenal's number 9 next season. And we'll keep going with Noni Madueke. Arsenal, we know they want to sign a winger who can play on both sides. To see a Noni Madueke link is a little bit surprising to me because, number one, you'd be helping Chelsea off balancing their books by purchasing a player from them who is becoming excess, who isn't a part of Enzo Maresca's plans. The price is around 50 million euros, which Arsenal pretty much said absolutely not. We'll revisit this towards the end of the summer if we revisit it at all. But it's definitely an interesting deal nonetheless to see it potentially happen. But Noni Madueke is a talented player, and he really can play on both sides, and he's very good in 1v1s. He's not afraid to try and drive at a fullback. Is he world-class? Does he have world-class abilities? No. Could he be a really good option to spell Saka some minutes who could play on the left if we needed a player in a pinch? 100%. I wouldn't do this deal for more than 30 million euros. I think that's probably right around a price that makes sense for Noni Madueke in terms of his talent and what he would add to the team. But I wouldn't expect to see any movement on this until August. We're going to pretty much go all out for a striker in the next week. I think Rodrigo deal will get done after the Club World Cup, sometimes like early to mid-July. we'll have to focus on sales, which we're about to get to in this episode. And then whatever kind of money is left after kind of hopefully bringing in a defender, Hato, hopefully, and then figuring out the Partey situation, sales. And then August, I think there'll be this idea of like trying to find a luxury winger who can, be more rotation options. So there's a lot to happen before we see anything happen with the Madueke deal, but interesting to see that link nonetheless. And then sales. I mean, the amount of players Arsenal have that are not going to be a part of the plans next year, this is a huge summer for Andrea Berta to change the way that Arsenal sell players. We have struggled so much to sell players, and we have a whole host of them that need to go this summer to not only up our transfer kitty, but so we don't lose them for free and just we can prove that we can sell players. So Alexander Zinchenko, we've seen AC Milan, we've seen Fulham be linked, Atletico Madrid have been linked. He looks like he's going to go around 15 million euros. That would be my guess. Maybe some add-ons. The big stumbling block, obviously, is his big wages. You have Jakub Kiwior. If we bring in Hato, Kiwior is going to be on the way out. Had a great year, upped his transfer price. I'd expect to get between 25 and 30 for him, no less than 25, at least all in, maybe 20 plus add-ons. But he proved that he's a Premier League level player and a Champions League level player. So I can't imagine we're going to let him go for very little. You've got Reece Nelson, who is back on loan, back from his loan at Fulham. Another injury-riddled season. I wouldn't expect to get a whole lot from him, but he deserves the opportunity to go somewhere and play. Fabio Vieira just isn't going to cut it. Just physically never got to the level he needed to be. Has so much talent, but just physically not up to it. Hopefully you can recoup 15 to 20 million for him in some way, shape, or form with a loan with an option to buy, whatever it might be. Albert Sambi Lokonga. Forget about him, I'm sure. He's a player that needs to find a future. Carl Hain, a player who needs to find a future. The goalkeeper that we had sent on loan to La Liga this past year, who was a Hale End goalkeeper. I mean, the list goes on. And, from those that I've just mentioned, you could probably generate 60 to 70 million in player sales, including some of those academy players that are going to leave where you'll get a couple £100,000 here and there. I would expect us to get between 60 to 80. 70 would probably be a sweet spot. Anything less than 60 would be a bad summer in terms of sales. But this is the summer for Andrea Berta to kind of turn it around for us in terms of the way that we do business. That's Arsenal Report. We're doing updates every single day on the transfer summer, the transfer window, Andrea Berta's first time in charge with Arsenal, and who is going to be those marquee signings going into this season where we absolutely must win a trophy. So make sure to subscribe right down below, and we'll